talk really quick about something. I had not flown, and you and I had joked around about the TSA, and I had not gone through the full body scanners yet. I hadn't traveled since they instituted these things. I have to say, this is my report on the TSA and the full body scanners, and I have two stories. I don't want to take a ton of time up, but I'm going to tell them to you quickly. My overview of the whole thing, it's creepy, it's weird. I don't like the TSA. I don't like what they're becoming, and I'm just being honest. And this is not a political statement. This TSA thing is starting to bug me, especially after experiencing it firsthand. We're in LAX, coming home. And the way the TSA works, I was under the assumption that everybody had to go through the scanners. Yeah. It's not that way. Oh, okay. It's random, and I'm sure it's based on a number.
I was under the same assumption.
Yeah, I thought that which, that would be fair, really. Yeah. And I think that would be the biggest deterrent. And I had said on the show before, if it's going to keep me from blowing up on a plane, well, what the heck? Yeah. It's not. It's random, and they pick the person that goes through. Mm-hmm. So the lovely Kim Marie and I are waiting to go through, and the whole vibe now, even in the security line, is very weird. Like you're in a military state. It's not like before where even people are talking to each other and everything. Yeah. Because everyone doesn't want to look like that strange person that gets picked to go through the scanner. So they met their quota, and they needed to pick somebody to go through the scanner. They grab. There was a couple ahead of us. Had to be 90 years old, an older couple. And when you first go to the security line, you show your ID and your ticket, and that allows you to go forward through the line. Anybody who hasn't traveled, that's how it works. And if you have traveled, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So even at that point, these folks were ahead of Kim Marie and myself. At that point, you could tell that the woman was the one who was kind of guiding this old boy, and something might be wrong with him. Yeah. Weren't sure. I mean, what the deal was with them. So we're all to the point now where you've got to take your shoes off, and you've got to take your belt off, and you've got to take your laptop out, and whatever. That's just procedure now. And the old couple, the husband gets separated out to go through the line that's going to take him through the body scanner. Okay? The wife does not. So that she's immediately concerned.
They're now separated.
Separated. Where are you taking him? He's got to go this way. And they say it to her very meanly. I mean, they didn't explain anything to her, nor did they explain anything to him. The old boy walks through the scanner. Now, it set the scanner off. That opens up a whole another set of procedures for the TSA. Scanner goes off. Now you've got to be frisked and maybe even strip searched. But they do this. The strip search, I don't think they do in front of people. But the frisking...
I would hope not.
The frisking they do in front of people, and part of the reason why they do this, Josh, is to make everyone in line aware of what's going on, so you know that you better not pull any monkey business, because the TSA...
Setting an example.
Exactly. They want your punishment to be an example to everybody in line, which, once again, heightens the creepy feeling that in line.
Before you continue, it sort of sounds like when you see like those apocalyptic movies
where they George Orwell now.
Yeah, that's what I'm sort of going towards. Is when you see those apocalyptic type movies where there's like a military coming to town and they're filing everybody in a line and putting them into a camp or something. That's sort of what it sounds like, and that's the feel of it right now.
Okay, so now we've got this couple separated. Okay. And she goes through her line. He goes through the scanner. He must have set it off. And they might have asked him, I don't know, maybe he had a plastic hip on him. Maybe the guy was wearing a diaper, because it turns out he has Alzheimer's. Okay? So now bells and whistles go off. He needs to be searched. Well, she comes from her line over and explains to the TSA agent he has Alzheimer's. He can't be alone. I have to go with him. No. She can't go with him because he's set off the TSA scanner. So he has to be separated in this area in plain view. They're trying to get him to stand on a mat. He doesn't comprehend anything. Yeah. So now he's scared. He doesn't comprehend anything. I'm 100% sure he's not a terrorist. I mean, I really am 100% sure he's not a terrorist. This is the TSA that we've adopted now. I'm not a big fan of this, and I got one more quick story, and this is a heart-wrenching story.
Okay. Am I going to need my tissues for this one?
You know what? I did almost at first. I'm not kidding around. And this broadcast in L.A. On the L.A. news channels, I'm sure it didn't broadcast here. There's a fella, and I don't remember his name. I lost my notes on this, but I heard the story so many times it actually did make me sad. There was a fella He lived in Colorado. His daughter lived in Colorado. His grandson lived in Colorado, 2-year-old baby. The daughter had taken up with a guy, a boyfriend. The boyfriend assaulted the baby, causing brain damage. That's a horrible story. The baby is in the hospital on life support. The grandfather's in L.A., flying out of LAX, where we just seen, what we seen, okay? Yeah. He gets to the airport 2 hours early. He does everything right. They're going to take the baby off life support in Colorado. He needs to get there, okay? So he gets there 2 hours early. He's the line is just huge. There a lot of people trying to get through the security line. He alerts the TSA agent. My grandson is going to be taken off life support. I'm going to miss the plane. The TSA agent looks at him and laughs. Ha ha, that's a good one. Never heard that one before. Once again, because this totalitarian feeling that we have, nobody in line wants to let him cut, because if you let that guy cut, then you might be the guy singled out to be harassed. Yeah. So nobody will let this guy ahead of him. The TSA has turned their back on him. He's going to miss his plane. He makes it through security, takes off to the gate in his socks. Doesn't even put his shoes back on. Leaves his shoes. Because he knows he's going to miss his plane. He gets to the gate, and this was a Southwest flight. I'm giving Southwest a big plug here. The Southwest pilot is standing outside the door where you would enter the plane and says, "Don't worry, we held the plane for you." And luckily, he was able to make it back. My point on this, though, this is America. Yeah. Okay? I mean, this TSA, you're not supposed to be heartless. You're not supposed to be uncaring. And as far as your lack of wanting to profile, it's become foolish and nonsensical. This whole thing started after 9/11. I'm pretty sure 90-year-old Alzheimer patients did not do 9/11. I'm almost 100% sure of that. I'll check the history books.
I'll read a book tonight.
Yeah, to make sure that I'm correct. But I don't believe that we're trying to single out 90-year-old Alzheimer males. I don't believe that's it. But
Al Gore got pulled out of line.
Al Gore did? Yes. Yeah, there you go. I mean, Matt, do you know?
He's one electoral vote away from being president, yet he's the terrorist.
Well, and you want to know something that kills me? Profiling happens for the TSA agents to get their jobs. They use affirmative action to get their jobs. I mean, the TSA does, not the people who are employed. And it's okay then. It's okay to use, and that's even racially profiling people. Certain races get a leg up on jobs like that. So they can use it to employ their employees, but they can't use it to keep the country safe. You've got to be kidding me.
And back to your second story, though, I think it's a great testament to that there's still, a heart in America, that the pilot heard this and he held the plane and, waited for this gentleman.
I totally agree with you. But the thing about it is, on the inverse of that, had that been a plane with a real company guy pilot who's worried about time, or I don't know if they have bonuses based on if they land their plane on time. I would imagine that they do. That guy's chances to see his grandson would have been out the window. And like I say, he wasn't asking for anything preferential. By all means, take him out, run him through the scanner. He would have done anything, to get on that plane. He did everything right. He did everything that was supposed to happen. He got there 2 hours early. He did everything right. I just think it's sad anymore. I just do think it's sad. So that's I'll get off my soapbox now. I want to talk to you really quick about, I want to thank Lita Ford. I want to thank Lita Ford and her management team, who actually listened to our broadcast on one of the affiliates, and really just thanked us up and down. So
they streamed it on one of the affiliates' websites.
Exactly.
Which you can hear at 1077thelake.com.
Yeah, that's the best way to stream it. They have the best streaming capabilities, I think. And they were very nice and very congenial. I want to thank Lita for being on the show last week. I want to tell you really quickly about this guy that I met, and then we're going to go to a commercial break. The lovely Kim Marie, we're in Laguna. Yep. Actually, we got to head to commercial break now, right? I'm going to tell you this story. We're going to end you with the Laguna thing, but it's going to get interesting.
I'm on the edge of my seat right now. I'm going to fall off.
Stick around, folks.